Hi, this is Me Geek and I'm Dan, and in this video I add a DRO to my lathe. So let's get to it. Okay, so basically we've got this scale which belongs down the back of the primary axis. So I bought this based on the length that Warco mention. It's a little longer because I think they're very specific in their lengths, and this is a tiny bit over. And because of that, it doesn't actually quite fit. Let me just remove these. So basically, I want to put this down in here, and it'll be mounted onto this back structure. But the bracket for this here is just a little bit in the way. Now, one of the things, I've never spotted the video where he does it, but Aid of Aid's workshop, his back panel is set back by a chunk. I think he just did that to give himself some more room. So I'm going to take this back panel off, check how that fits this, and ultimately we'll remount this a little set back and make room for the fitting for this. So that's the plan. That's the plan. We'll get our DRO in action. So it looks like there's an Allen key down here and some screws up there. Let's just hit the E-stop and let's do this. I should say the Warco obviously sell this machine with the DRO already installed. It's quite a bit more expensive, and more expensive than buying it separately and fitting it yourself, but I probably would have bought that already fitted had they had any stock, but my patience was not up to the task of waiting indefinitely for stock to come in. Right, so obviously this covers the back side of the motor. Let's rotate you around a bit. So you can see. So here's where we need to mount things. So this is the slidey bit, which will be mounted, connected to this, but pretty much everyone I've seen that's attached a DRO scale attaches it this way round, because here you've got wipers. Obviously there's a slot and you want to avoid any of this detritus going in there, so you really want it mounted here, probably with a standoff by the looks of it, and then a bracket that comes down from here onto that. And actually, if I look at this, right, that's all the way back before the stop. So, right, that's as far as the carriage goes this way. So that's as far in as this could possibly go. So if this is mounted like that, yeah, we literally just need something, you know, a bracket that will reach out to here, and that'll be plenty. Could have gotten away with a slightly shorter one. So what I need then is, I guess I might as well mount it kind of level and as close to there as I can get away with. So what I'm going to do then is mark some holes. There's some space or some tweakable adjustment, so I really just need the distance. I can drill and tap a couple of holes into the base frame right there. Then I'll make some standoffs just so that it can sit nice and flush, and then we can have a plate across there. The mounting hardware that these come with are M4, which I just checked with a little M4 nut. I've marked the positions. The tap drill The appropriate tap drill for an M4 is a 3.3. We'll just pop that in here. And this one isn't blind, but well, this one isn't through, rather. All good. Alright, so that's basically just gently tacked in place. That'll hold nicely, lined up pretty well. It's pretty clear that you could get away with a much shorter scale on this back if you wanted to. It's very unlikely I'm ever going to have the carriage this far forward. I probably will have it as far back as it goes, but as far back as it goes is about here. But anyway, this is the one I've got. I just pulled a piece of aluminium out of the scrap pile. I'm basically going to make a plate that bolts onto here and then has a couple of screws into the back carriage. It'll probably come down at an angle. Yes, yeah, so I'll probably take a straight line up here and an angled line here, and we'll have probably another couple of spacers, and we'll just screw that into there, and we'll drill and tap a couple of blind holes in here for that to fit onto. Seems easy enough, he says. Let's go to the guillotine. A little bit quick and dirty. I didn't want to drill too far into the carriage, so these are on a few threads. These are packed out with washers on the back side. Everything seems pretty good. It flows back and forward okay. I do need to figure out how I'm going to put the guard, the sort of back guard, back in place. Now that I have that all figured out. So essentially this will be, so I can come up with a bracket to span between here and here, no problem. This bracket unfortunately would want to go clean through the scale over here. For now though, I'm going to quickly plug in the meter, plug in the actual DRO, and let's see it working. Bum, bum, bum. So I have this connected. You are the x-axis. So I should, I don't know if you can see that from there. Ooh. So let's come out to here. Let's 0U and let's just, so this is 5 on the drive scale. Oh yeah. I was under. Sweet. It's pretty cool, considering how much backlash there is in these handles, to be able to, I mean, literally, just dropping the handle is enough, but yeah, not having to worry about reading the scale on the handle and accounting. I guess I just need the other scale to arrive, which I ordered more than a month ago. But when that arrives, I'll see if I can fit it to the carriage. But this is probably the most useful one, to be honest. So to move this backsplash back, I basically drilled a hole into this, into the electronics bay, I guess. I did check that there was nothing behind there before I drilled the hole. So that screw is moved back from there. I shaped some pieces of metal just to cover the holes where we've kind of gained a couple of inches, and just taped them in place. So we should retain all the chips in the same way, and obviously I screwed this bracket directly to the wood just to provide holding on this side so it's all held, and then I reused the hole that used to mount this to the back to mount the clip for this cable, just so that keeps that all nice and tidy in the right place. That is the backsplash remounted with the DRO scale in place. Pretty happy with how that went. It's nice and sturdy, and I was able to use some thin sheet steel just to kind of bridge the holes so that all the chips will stay in the same place. Quick comment on that: the sheet steel I used came from the back panel of a television that died on me last year, and I took that thing to pieces and kept every single thing that could possibly be useful, and this really thin gauge steel from the back has been really good just to chop up and do this basic forming. So that's that. Next job, this is the DRO screen mounted on its kind of swing arm, and obviously I want that kind of over here, and to achieve that I'm going to take this offcut of, this is actually stainless box section, but I'm going to weld it onto this corner. So I'll probably cut out a square of the workbench top so that I'll grind away some of the paint, and I think, in fact, to make life a little easier on me, because I won't be able to get into the two inside sides, what I'm going to do is just cut a wedge out of these two sides so that I can just overlap this down a little and just weld the seams around like that. That'll give me this post. Put some kind of a plate on here, which I will drill holes to match the bracket, and then we'll be good. Well, I guess that's it for this video. I don't have the cross-slide scale, so I can't attach that. Hopefully that will arrive at some point in 2021. But for now, we've got it up and running. Very happy with this change. You'll have seen in the last few clips that I have already upgraded the handles on the turn wheels. And I've changed into a quick change tool post, a couple of little add-ons that I didn't video as I'm just getting going, but I'm sure I'll talk more about them in the future. For now, don't forget those things that YouTube really likes and appreciates you doing, and it's not me, it's YouTube. The like button and all that thing, you know the jazz. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. There's going to be probably a lot more videos about the lathe.